It is a blue blood Big Ten SEC battle here at AT&T Stadium. Of all the playoff teams, the Buckeyes have played the fewest snaps of all of them. And Chip Kelly says that is by design. They've been preparing for this extended 12-team playoff like the NFL.
That's right. A very special day for Joey Aguilar. A venue like Neyland Stadium and being the starting quarterback. I talked to him about that honor. He's got 25 strong from California with his parents in the stands to root for him. All very exciting, but he told me part of the job is managing those expectations and the excitement, the emotions. But he's part of that fraternity of very honorable quarterbacks at Tennessee, like Peyton Manning, who reached out to him after his winning debut against Syracuse to congratulate him. He said it was pretty awesome to hear from the sheriff himself. What a great performance for your team. Another one here at Davis Wade. You talked about wanting to get that defense back in check. You got to ring that turnover bell 3 times. How does it feel?
That was huge for us. Turnover, so proud of that group.
And that's right. You also wanted to get the run game going again. You multiplied the rushing yards 4 times over, 6 on the ground. What is it that's getting everything clicking?
Yeah, I think we're going to need our run game in a huge way as we continue to move forward.
That's right. You have conference play in just 2 weeks. You can feel the energy. I know you like to keep the emotions in check, but you can feel it. What is your message to the SEC right now?
It is.
He was actually carried entirely off into the tent. All the guys went over to check in on him, which is very telling for a team with 54 new players. It looks like it's going to be his left foot. He is going to be carted off. He's not going to the hospital. He's getting x-rayed. It looked pretty rough on him. It's a different environment after winning a national championship. You have plenty of those of your own 7 to count after Ryan Day got his first. A little bit of a pep in his step. What was it like getting that first one?
Deal with the success that comes with winning, and that'll be the challenge for him and his team this year.
He does have a quarterback battle ahead, and you recruited Julian Sayin. He transferred to Ohio State upon your retirement. What makes him a competitor in this race? President Donald Trump walked through that extended 12-team playoff, gave out a lot of praise to the individual players that had a major impact along the way. Jack Sawyer's massive play in the Cotton Bowl semifinal playoff. Will Howard, offensive player of the game. It's been a rough season for the Boilermakers. They've lost 7 consecutive games, and they don't much to play for. But the Buckeyes have everything to play for, and they're hearing all the talk around the team. But they know they still have more to prove with the College Football Playoff Committee making their weekly rankings at this point in the season. Tons of line movement in this game.
Yeah.
Probably as much movement as we've seen on the Ohio State offensive line as of late.
The Hawkeyes are not as balanced. They have no passing threat whatsoever. Cade McNamara is averaging just over 112 yards passing per game, 4.7 yards per pass attempt. He has 2 interceptions, and he has yet to throw a touchdown. It will be a long day for him against this defense that's only allowed 3 touchdowns through 4 games.
Stephanie for more on Seth Davis.
Yeah, you guys saw all the emotions, extra excitement on the sideline for him. He was injured 2 years ago in the Egg Bowl. I just talked to the trainer. It was a very low percentage of him returning. To have a moment like that really got the team back on their feet, reiterating, Mississippi State, are they back? Guys, are they back? History made for you in your debut at Neyland Stadium with 25 of your family and friends over there from California. How does it feel?
I just want to give all glory to God. Good game, good win, a lot of stuff to clean up, but really exciting.
288 yards for you just in the first half. That's more than you got in week 1 against Syracuse. How do you keep the momentum going?
Not used to this type of environment, Stephanie.
That's right, Jay. This is not your typical game week for the Long Island Sharks. They don't even have lights at their practice facility. They actually had to get creative. They moved into their campus gym, setting up 4 giant speakers, blasting Florida's fight song and crowd noise to simulate this crowd in an SEC environment. Coaches had to tell players every call has to be made with signals only. Ron Cooper, he knows what it's like in these environments, and he warned his players, you have to anticipate this initial shock.
Snow continues to fall here in Texas, causing travel implications for fans making their way out for the Cotton Bowl semifinal playoff between Ohio State and Texas. And local airports have had several cancellations for flights coming in and out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They've made preparations for de-icing, but they have asked travelers to plan ahead and look at local road reports.
Talked to Jacoby Criswell and Cade McNamara earlier this week, and they admitted to me and they laughed about it. They said it was pretty awkward when they both arrived, both having veteran experience from the Power 4, but it was all because of Coach Healy taking in that extra transparency, having the personability with him that helped build instilled this no ego mentality for the team. There's no poison for them. I talked to Josh Dobbs about the last time they beat Georgia. I saw the highlight reel, the Hail Mary, and I sent it to him. He said it's always good to see that video, but it actually wasn't intended for Jawan Jennings. It was actually designed for Josh Malone. Wide receivers coach Zach Azzani switched Jennings to the left during the timeout, and the rest we know is history. But Jawan says he still relives it every single day. He actually chucked the ball down the field. He was so hyped up. Josh made sure that that moment in history was not lost. It's actually still at his parents' house, safe and well kept.
Center Seth McLaughlin, who suffered an Achilles injury at practice Tuesday. That is the second starter on the Ohio State offensive line to go out for the season. But that does not make Seth any less impactful. He showed up right back at practice to support his team because Carson Hinzman has relied on him throughout the changes that unit has made.
No team in the country has allowed fewer yards per game than the Buckeyes, but Northwestern has only scored under 7.5 points once this season.
Part of playing a football game at a baseball field is the teams will actually be spending halftime right here in the dugout. They walk right off from that makeshift field and they will come here still amongst all the fans in a very intimate setting. They actually have adjusted the seating. They had to clear it out in the end zones to make up for more room.
Grand slam for Michael Chandler, team captain. Catching his breath still.
Still catching his breath. I tell you what, I needed it. Listen,
Yeah.
Team captain or not, I made a couple errors.
You guys are both kind of.
I made a couple errors last.
4 runs, dog.
One hit.
Runs.
I know I didn't know the bases were loaded until they said it, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Boom, thank God.
And you hauled it in.
I did. I was right behind Jordan. I was like, bro, we gotta go.
You guys collectively had these conversations to where you are right now, national championship media days. What would you say to all those guys who were making that decision in that moment?
We're just so excited to be here.
Thinking of some of those speeches you give to the team and also looking at this being your last game as a Buckeye,
Yeah.
What do you think you'll say to them? Have you thought about that yet?